So in this, first of all, you have to know it. What is the acceleration due to gravity? So the acceleration of a freely falling body is called as the acceleration due to gravity, and it's a g. We can write as a exact value is 9.8 meter per second square. So we have, for uniformly accelerated motion, we have equations. So those equations, in case of freely falling case and vertically projected case, how they are going to be changed, we will be discussing. The equations of motion. We have taken that v, final velocity v equal to u plus at, and s is equals to ut plus half at square, v square minus u square is equals to 2as, and the distance in nth time interval second we have u plus a by 2 into 2n minus 1. These equations, how they are going to be changed, just we will discuss it. First one, in case of freely falling body, the things are, the body we left it freely means we are not providing any velocity for it, so velocity is 0, and acceleration is nothing but velocity keep on increasing while it is reaching to the ground. That's why acceleration is plus g. So these changes, if you make it in these equations, then you can get it v equal to gt, and s is equals to half gt square, and v square is equals to 2g, and if it is falling from a height h, so s place you can write as a height h from which you are left the body, so v square is equals to 2gh. The distance covered in the nth second, you can write as a Sn is equals to g by 2 into 2n minus 1. So these are the equations in case of freely falling body. Next, in case of vertically projected body, in case of vertically projected body. So in case of vertically projected, in the sense, if a body is projected, so by providing some initial velocity is u, and while it is reaching up, so we are taking it as it is reaching to a height h. While it is reaching to height h, so its final velocity is going to become 0. And when it is going up means velocity keep on decreasing. That's why acceleration is nothing but minus g we are taking. Then how these equations are going to be changing? If it reaches to maximum height, final velocity 0. Otherwise, if any intermediate point is there, final velocity is not 0. But on all cases, it may be reached to maximum height, it may not be reached to the maximum height. At any intermediate time, if you taken the equations how it is there, we will be discussing it. Then, at any intermediate time, because we are not taking exactly at the highest point, then the equations how they are going to be change here is v equal to u minus gt, and you can take it final velocity 0 provided if they reach to the maximum. Otherwise, you cannot take final velocity 0. Then s is equals to ut minus half gt square, and v square minus u square is equals to minus 2gs, and fourth one Sn is equals to u minus g by 2 into 2n minus 1. So these are the cases when it is vertically projected, and if a body is thrown downwards with velocity u, the body is thrown downwards with velocity u, then what are the equations of motion is? If the body thrown downwards with velocity u. In such case, you can understand that freely falling body case initial velocity 0, but here it is not freely falling body. We throwing the body with the initial velocity u. At this time, you can write initial velocity not 0, and then keep on velocity increases. That's why a equal to plus g. Then how the equations are going to be changed here is, so the equations are, first one is v equal to u plus gt, and s is equals to ut plus half gt square, and v square minus u square is equals to 2gs, and sn is equals to u plus g by 2 into 2n minus 1. So these are the how the equations are going to be changed in freely falling body, vertically projected body. If the body is thrown down with a velocity u, these are the equations you can observe. Now, equations, motion parameters. If a body is projected vertically upwards, that motion parameters are what we can discuss it. In case of body is projected vertically upwards. Motion parameters in case of vertically projected body. So, what are those? We will discuss it. First one is, what is the maximum height reached by the body if a body is projected vertically upwards, and what is the time of ascent, means how much time it takes to reach the maximum height. So those cases will be discussed here. First one, maximum height reached by the body. The body is projected, maximum height it is reaches means its final velocity is 0, initial velocity is u. Then from equation v square minus v square is equals to, this is h max. Then you can write minus 2g h max. Then final velocity 0 means we will get h max is equals to u square by 2g. Then this is the maximum height reached by the body. From this, you can also write that time of ascent. Time of ascent means the time taken by the body to reach to maximum height. The time taken by the body to reach to the maximum height is called as the time of ascent. Then you can understand that if it is from equation v equal to u minus gt, when it is reaches to the maximum height, final velocity is 0. So u minus gta, therefore time of ascent is equals to u by g. The same way, what is the time of descent? Time of descent means from maximum height to reach the ground. What is the time taken? That is time of descent. So time of descent is time of descent. So time of descent in the sense it is coming from the maximum height. So from equation s is equals to half g t square. Here from where it is coming? It is coming from maximum height, that is equals to g by 2 t square. H max is u square by 2g, that is equal to g by 2 t square. Then time of descent is equals to, again it will come u by g. Then you can understand time of ascent is equals to time of descent. And also time of flight. Time of flight means how much time the body was present in the air is called as the time of flight. That is nothing but time of ascent plus time of descent, that is 2u by g. Also we can write the expression for maximum height in terms of time of flight. So maximum height in terms of time of flight. So we can write like this. So maximum height equal to u square, in the sense u square means we can write u equal to g t by 2. That if you substitute 1 by 2g into g square t square by 4, then it will be h max in terms of time of flight is 1 by 8 g t square. So this is the maximum height. Next we can discuss that if a body is projected, if from what is the velocity of the body, again coming back to the same point of projection. So if you take in that if a body is projected with a velocity u, so again it is coming back to the same point. What is the final velocity? The final velocity in the sense we can take it that so to come back to this point, how much time it takes, that is the time of flight, that is equal to 2u by g. So from the equation v equal to u minus gt, then v equal to u minus g, here t is the time of flight, that is you can write as a 2u by g, then if you write v equal to minus u. So with what velocity you are projecting, the body will be reaches back with the same velocity but in opposite direction. When all these cases are possible, provided, so time of ascent equal to time of descent, as well as velocity of projection is same as the when it is coming back, it is come back to the ground with the same velocity. These are the cases are possible when air resistance is neglected. If air resistance is considered, so time of ascent is not equal to time of descent, as well as the velocity of projecting upwards and velocity descending downwards is different. Such case will be discussed later. Next, you can say one thing that if a body is projected, so what is the velocity at half of its maximum height? So velocity of the body at half of its maximum height. Half of its maximum height in the sense, so we are taking that body is projected and it is the maximum height, and maximum height if it reaches final velocity becomes 0. So if a body is projected with a velocity u, but it reaches only half of the maximum height, that is h max by 2. So what is the velocity at this point? So what is the velocity here? Final velocity v dash 0, but here what is the velocity we can take it. So from equation, initial velocity and we will want it final velocity, v square minus u square is equals to, it is a minus 2g, how much height it is going? Half of the maximum height, that is h max by 2. Then h max and all if you substituted, you will get v square minus u square is equals to minus 2g. So g into h max is u square by 2g, then it is cancelled. Therefore v equal to u by, you will get root 2. So velocity at the half of the maximum height is 1 by root 2 times the initial velocity. And one more point for solving the problems, these points are important. What are those here is, when a body is projected vertically upwards, when the distance travelled by the body in the first second in upwards motion is equivalent to last second of its downward motion. So here we are taking that the distance covered by the body during first second of upward motion is equal to the distance covered in the distance covered by the body in the last second of downward motion. Then you can understand that if a body is projected vertically upwards, so we have that if you project it vertically upwards, first second, if time t equal to 1 second if you are taken, if time t equal to 1 second if you are taken, and what is the distance covered here? The distance covered in 1 second is, so that is we can find that S1 is equals to u into t, t is 1 second, minus half g into t square, that is 1 square, then S1 is equal to what here? U minus g by 2. So this is the distance covered when it is going upwards in the first second. This is one. And the same way, the distance covered by the body in the last second of downward motion means, so it is going up, again it is falling down. During coming down, last second also it travels the same journey. So how we can find that expression here is, so you can see that distance traveled by the body in the nth second is, from equation Sn is equals to u plus a by 2 into 2n minus 1. While it is coming down, you can observe it is the last second of its upward journey. So we projected upwards like this. And last second in the sense, last 1 second in the sense, you can write as a S1 is equals to u minus g by 2 into last second in the sense 2 into 1 minus 1. Then S1 is equals to u minus g by 2. So in the last second also we have the same distance covered. So you can understand this. The distance covered by the body during the first second of upward motion is same as the distance covered by the body in the last second of downward motion. The same way you can understand one more thing also. The body projected upwards, the distance covered in the last second is equals to the distance covered by the first second of free fall. So that is also we can understand the same point. Here we can understand that if a body projected upwards is going upwards, what is the distance covered in the last second? This is the maximum height when velocity is 0. So distance s in last second of upward motion is this one is equivalent to, so when it is after reaching to the maximum height, it is again comes back, and the first second of free fall, this distance, this is the distance in first second of free fall. So these two distances are equal. So the last second of upward motion is equal to the first second of free fall. These distances are also be equal, we can see. So next we discuss the one more case. Before that we already discussed one point that if air friction is negligible, the time of ascent is equivalent to the time of descent, as well as the velocity of projection when it is coming back to the same point, the velocity is also remains the same. Now if air friction is considered, let us say a body is projected vertically upwards with velocity u from a horizontal plane, again it goes coming back and falling down to the same horizontal plane, but it is not with the same velocity. The velocity is different. Why? Because it is due to air friction. Now in this case, what is the time of ascent? What is the time of descent? In terms of u and v, what is the height it is travelled? In such cases we will be discussing. First, during upward motion, if you take the upward motion, the body is moving upwards. You know, when it is moving upwards, its weight mg as well as the air friction both are downwards. If both are downwards means net downward force will be net downward force we can write as a mg plus r. So net downward acceleration we can write A is equals to g plus r by m. So this is the r by m, it is producing due to air friction, this is the acceleration. So we will write this as a g plus a. So what is the acceleration while the body is projected upwards means when air friction is considered, it is g plus a. Now we know the expressions that h max is equals to u square by 2g. Generally we can write u square by 2g, but in this case acceleration is not g alone, it is g plus a. That's why we can write h is equals to u square by 2 into g plus a, because it is projected with a velocity u initially. So from this we can write g plus a equal to u square by 2h. And also the time of ascent. So time of ascent we can write as a, from the expression Ta is equals to root over, generally we can write the formula 2u by g if the air friction is negligible, but here air friction is considered, so we can write the expression that is time of ascent is equals to Ta equal to root over time of ascent we can write as a Ta equal to root over 2h by, actually we can write g if only gravitational field is alone, but here air friction is also considered. Air friction is considered, we can write the acceleration is g plus a. Later we are going to discuss if downward motion case. In case of downward motion, you can observe that the body is coming down. So weight is mg downwards, but air friction is upwards. Now it is coming down with a velocity is v. Then we can write net downward acceleration is net downward acceleration, that is equal to g minus r by m, that is equal to g minus a. Then we can write it is reaches to certain height. That height expression we can write as a h is equals to u square by 2 into g minus a, or g minus a equal to u square by 2h. Height is by the body, and that is we take this as 1, and this is we take as a 2. And time of descent. Time of descent in the sense, in this case time of descent is we can write Td equal to root over 2h by g minus. Then earlier we taken the expressions, that is air friction is negligible time, time of ascent, time of descent, we have the same expressions, but here you can observe the time of ascent, time of descent expressions are different. If you take the ratio of time of ascent to the time of descent, you can get the expression like this, that is g minus a by g plus a, and whose value is less than 1. Then you can understand that time of ascent is less than the time of descent when air friction is present, due to the presence of air friction. And also you can write the expression for here velocity is v square, downward velocity is v square. Then you can take the expressions there, equation 1 and 2, if you are adding 1 plus 2, then you will get 2g equal to u square plus v square by 2h. From this you can get the height, how much it can be raised, that is u square plus v square by 4g. So this is the height raised in the presence of a resistance. Next, we'll go to the discussion now. If a tower is there whose height is h, one body is falling freely. At the same instant, one body is projected upwards. So when they will meet and where they will meet, so how can we do that case here is, if a tower of height h is there, from the base one body projected upwards, at the same instant one body is left freely from the top, like this. Here a tower of height h is there, one body is left freely, so whose initial velocity is 0. At the same instant one body is projected upwards with velocity. So the question is, when and where they will meet. When and where they will meet means at what time and from where, from the base or from the top of the tower where they will meet, we can discuss it. One thing you can understand, when it is left freely, it will travel some s1 distance, and the body which is projected upwards, it also travels some s2 distance. So let us suppose they meet at this point. Now total s1 plus s2 is nothing but the height of the tower. Here s1 is freely falling body case, s2 is the vertically projected body case. Therefore s1 is nothing but, we can write half g t square. Here t, let they meet at time t be taken. So s1 is half g t square. At the same time, the body projected upwards is s2 is nothing but ut minus half g t square. And we know these two distances is nothing but the total height h. So h is equals to, we can write as a s1 plus s2. Then we can get it that these two will be get cancelled. So h is equals to ut. Therefore, time t equal to h by u. So when they will meet, in the sense you can understand that at a time t equal to h by u. And where they will meet, in the sense you can substitute this t value in either of the equations what we have here, s1 or s2. So from expression s1 is equals to half g t square. So s1 is equals to half g, t square is nothing but h square by u square. So s1 is equals to g h square by 2u square. This is the distance from the top of the tower. So where they will meet means, they will meet at a distance s1 from top of tower. If you want to find it out from the base of the tower means, just you have to be subtracted s1 from h. So from the base of the tower, that is equals to h minus s1. So like that you can able to find it out when and where they will meet each other. Next we can go for if a body is projected from the top of a tower, if the body is projected from tower. Let us take a tower of height h. From this, if a body is projected with a velocity u, now it is goes and again it is reaches to the ground. So it is reaches to the ground in the duration of time t seconds. Here the thing is, here we know the one thing, height of the tower we know as well as initial velocity we know. So we want it at what time it reaches ground. We want to find at what time it reaches ground. So at this time it is goes positive y as well as again it is comes down negative y, and net displacement is you can write as a y minus of y plus h, that is equal to minus h. So vertically projected body we can have the equation from equation S is equals to ut plus half at square. If you substitute displacement is minus h equal to ut minus half gt square. Then if you rearrange this, we have the expression like this: half gt square minus ut minus h is equals to 0. So this is the quadratic equation in time, and if you solve these roots, then time t equal to u plus or minus root over u square plus 2gh by g. So this is the formula, you can use it to find the time, and this positive root you can take it, that positive root is nothing but the time taken by the body to reach the ground.